Your first cup of coffee isn't a wake-up call, it's a chemical 911. Drinking it on an empty stomach triggers a stress response as if you're in danger, disrupting your energy and focus for hours. If you don't change this habit, you're working against yourself before the day even starts. Coffee on an empty stomach isn't just a bad habit, it's a metabolic error most people are silently paying for. This one choice is the hidden trigger behind your anxiety, your midday crashes, and your chronic fatigue. Here is the hour-by-hour breakdown of why and exactly how to fix it. The first 30 minutes, the cortisol collision. Here's something nobody told you about that first sip of coffee. You wake up feeling like a zombie, heavy eyes, foggy brain, zero motivation, and your hand automatically reaches for that cup, your lifeline, your morning ritual, the one thing standing between you and a completely useless morning. You believe you're doing yourself a favor. For many people, you're not. And the worst part, your body was already fixing the problem before you interfered. See, that groggy feeling isn't a malfunction. It's a molecule called adenosine, a natural byproduct of brain activity, doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And here's what most people completely miss. Between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., your body naturally produces its highest cortisol levels of the entire day. It's called the cortisol awakening response. Think of it as your body's built-in espresso shot, millions of years of evolution, perfectly engineered to sharpen your focus, clear the fog, and prepare you to face the day. Your body already has a system, a remarkable one. And then you pour coffee all over it. The collision nobody sees coming. Here's where it gets interesting and a little uncomfortable. Caffeine works by directly stimulating your adrenal glands and blocking those adenosine receptors, essentially encouraging your brain to feel alert whether it's ready or not. When you drink it on an empty stomach during your natural cortisol peak, you aren't supplementing your energy. For many people, you're colliding with it. No food buffer, no digestive process, nothing to slow the absorption. Within 30 minutes, cortisol can spike higher than it would after a meal. Your heart rate may climb, your blood vessels can constrict, your liver may start releasing glucose into your bloodstream. And here's the key insight. Caffeine can activate some of the same stress pathways your body uses when it perceives a threat. Not identical to danger, but similar enough to matter. You feel sharp, you feel focused, but for sensitive individuals, your system may already be running in a mild stress state, and you've been awake for less than an hour. Think cortisol was the whole story? It's just the beginning. That spike can trigger adrenaline, the same hormone your body uses in real danger, turning that busy feeling into actual stress. On an empty stomach, caffeine hits even harder, increasing stomach acid and sending signals to your brain that can feel like anxiety instead of digestion. That uneasy, restless feeling you blame on life might actually be coming from your coffee. Then about 90 minutes later, your blood sugar drops, fatigue and irritability set in, and without realizing it, you reach for another cup, starting the cycle all over again. Over time, this loop can train your body to depend on caffeine just to feel normal, disrupting your natural energy rhythms and making mornings harder without it. Your sleep quality can also suffer, even if you drink coffee early, and slowly what started as a simple habit can turn into a daily stress amplifier. What happens to your brain, focus, memory, and decision-making? After the spike, by mid-morning, you feel like you're functioning. And honestly, you probably are. Getting through emails, handling tasks, moving forward. But underneath, something may be quietly shifting. Your body runs in two modes, fight or flight, built for urgency, and rest and digest, built for calm and recovery. For some people, repeated empty stomach coffee can gradually shove this balance in one direction. Over time, the resting state starts feeling like low-grade stress. Small things start landing heavier than they should. And this is where many people get quietly trapped, without ever connecting it to their morning routine. A tense email feels bigger than it is. Traffic feels personal. A minor setback feels disproportionately stressful. Not because something is wrong with you, but because for some people, the nervous system was already primed before the day even started. The coffee isn't necessarily creating stress from nothing. For sensitive individuals, it may be amplifying everything that comes after it. 5 to 8 hours, the collapse. You thought was normal, then the afternoon hits. That heavy, foggy, can't think straight feeling. Most people accept it as just what adult life feels like. Push through, grab another coffee, assume this is just how things are. For many people, it was never normal. It was always a consequence. Here's why. Caffeine doesn't eliminate adenosine, it just blocks the sensors. While you were caffeinated and feeling fine, adenosine kept building quietly in the background. The moment caffeine clears, that accumulated exhaustion can hit more suddenly than it would have naturally. Stack that on top of a cortisol dip and blood sugar fluctuations. And the afternoon slump isn't always just ordinary tiredness. For people caught in this cycle, you're exhausted at 3 p.m. when you need to be sharp, wired at 11 p.m. when you need to sleep, and the more coffee you drink to patch the gap, the harder it becomes to break the pattern. Here's something many regular coffee drinkers experience, but rarely understand. You remember when one cup felt powerful, when coffee truly energized you. Then slowly, it stopped working the same. Now it takes 2 or 3 cups just to feel normal, and even then, it's not the same. This isn't in your head, it's neurological adaptation. Your brain adjusts to regular caffeine by creating more adenosine receptors, increasing its sensitivity to fatigue signals. Over time, this means you need more caffeine just to reach your baseline, and when it wears off, the crash feels stronger, the fatigue more noticeable, and the cycle speeds up. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach can make this worse. The fix and why it's simpler than you think. Don't quit coffee. The issue isn't coffee, it's timing and whether you've eaten. Coffee is rich in antioxidants and linked to benefits like lower risk of diabetes, liver disease, and cognitive decline. So the goal isn't removal, but optimization. The fix is simple. Wait 90 minutes to 2 hours after waking before your first cup, allowing your natural cortisol rhythm to settle, and then have a small snack first, like fruit or nuts to stabilize blood sugar and reduce stress response. This small shift can reduce anxiety and energy crashes for caffeine-sensitive people. Not because coffee is bad, but because your body works better when you align with its natural rhythm. For many, the problem was never coffee, it was timing. Over time, this habit can improve focus stability throughout the day. It may also reduce afternoon energy crashes that come from early caffeine spikes. You might notice calmer mornings without sacrificing alertness. Sleep quality can indirectly improve because your stress system is less disrupted early in the day. Small biological adjustments like this often create surprisingly large long-term effects. You've just learned what most people will keep overlooking. Tomorrow you have a simple choice, same morning or a completely different one. Wait 90 minutes, eat something small, then have your coffee. If you try it, drop a done in the comments. I genuinely want to know how it goes for you because it was never the coffee, it was always you working against yourself.